Hello again. Today is April 29th of 2025. It's actually my cousin Shanada's birthday. I call her my cousin mama, not my cousin's mama, but my cousin mama, because that's my mama and that's my cousin. That's actually my second mama. Because my second mama is actually my first mama, and my second mama is my cousin, and then my third mama is my first mama. I'll explain that a different time. But anyway, it's my cousin mama's birthday. So today is day 118. I've been yet again throughout the year slacking for my YouTube channel. And I know I say it every year, like, oh, I'm gonna be consistent. I promise. I'm gonna stop promising that I'm going to be consistent on YouTube. I'm going to promise that I'll try to be more consistent on YouTube. That's better, because don't make promises you can't keep. And I be telling people that, and I realize that I can't sit here and contradict myself because I make promises to YouTube that I can't keep. You can't always promise something because you don't know what's gonna happen. I've been through the ringer this year and it's only April. But that's okay because it's still before that 6 month mark and I still have time to turn my life around. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Now it is still day 118. I ate some spaghetti and grits today. I didn't feel like making anything and my sister was asleep and I know her leftovers are downstairs in her fridge and I didn't want to wake her up for no food. So I made some of the spaghetti that was left over. I really want some of her meatloaf because she just made meatloaf last night, and I want some before they dog it all. And then I made, because I originally made some grits, and they tasted like paper. And I was like, okay, how do I know how to make chicken macaroni and mashed potatoes, but not grits? I mean, I made my grits in the microwave also because all damn near all the goddamn pans are down there too, pans and pots. But and then I did my hair today. It's not nothing special. It's actually not even that good, but I did my best. I'm not actually good at doing my hair. And girls used to make me feel some type of way because I didn't know how to do my hair, but I grew up with people always doing my hair, whether it was my auntie or my cousin doing it, or my mom or my auntie paying for somebody to get it done. So, um, I think at 23, it's a good age to start learning how to do my own hair. I'm not gonna say I don't know how to do my hair, because I most definitely keep me a little kit, Eco Styler gel, jam, some combs, a edge brush, some mousse, and some rubber bands. But correction, ponytail holders, because I get tired of people saying that that's not a rubber band. Rubber bands are a little tiny. It's a band made out of rubber that holds your hair together. If you peel that other part off, it's elastic in there. I mean, what can I say? But anyways, I keep me a little kit to do my hair. I'm not gonna say I don't know how to do my hair. I don't know how to do my hair well enough to look good out in public. Like I know how to braid my hair to the back, but I used to couldn't part straight because parting your own head, man. And then I also have what a lot of people have told me is called an eddy, to where your hair goes around and then it's like this in the front. So I couldn't figure out what to do with it, so I made it look like it was boom, 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 and boom. But this piece keep overlapping. I know I showed you that in my last video. You're gonna see me in these clothes a lot for the next couple of days, only because I'm filming the same day, but I don't want the videos dropped the same day, if that makes sense. Like I'm filming, I want to at least have one video posted daily so I can build my algorithm for YouTube. I hope I'm understanding that right. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to keep up with my YouTube videos. I've been watching a lot of videos on consistency and things that 20-year-olds are doing now, because I mean, I'm not that into the world. I mean, I look at social media. Every time I look up on social media, I see either some drama about some famous people, somebody getting robbed out of money, somebody getting killed, shot, stomped to death, or arrested. And I'm kind of tired of looking at that. So I'm actually trying to change that algorithm too, of like what I search. So I search all business stuff so I can change the algorithm. Like give me all business stuff, all mental growth stuff, all setting your mind right in your 20s and 30s to so your 50s and 60s can work for themselves type of stuff. That's what I'm trying to look for. Now, today I took notes on a couple of people YouTube channels And I want to talk about these things today because a lot of people, including myself, have gotten these things wrong at 18, 19, 20 years old. And now we're 23, 24, 25, and we're stuck. Um, I'm not necessarily stuck. I'm just like stuck. I just go stuck. Anyway, because I couldn't find another word for it. But first thing they say, get credit at 18 years old. You build your credit so you're able to get like a loan or a mortgage so you can start on your, your house, build your credit. Now, one thing I got upset about is a lot of videos kept saying that people who were like people who ruined their credit before the age of 21 aren't responsible and just buying more than they're spending more than they're earning. There's with jobs and stuff, and that's not true. And then they say like, oh, they weren't responsible with their money. That's why people was getting on their ass about telling promoting getting a credit card at 18. First off, you don't want to live with your parents forever. So if anybody's gonna listen to that advice, it's gonna be me, and I'm going to preach the advice that I get, because when I was 18 and I didn't listen to the advice that I got, I'm sitting here regrouping in my mama's house at 23. So the fact that people say you're not responsible is not necessarily true. I got my credit at 18 years old. I started my credit. My very first credit card was a Victoria's Secret. Now everybody's like, oh, here we go with her irresponsible story, and she trying to make it seem like it wasn't responsible. No, I didn't buy no overly sexy panties. I didn't buy $200, $300 worth of stuff. I didn't do that because my mom always told me that there is no such thing as too many socks, too many bras, and too many underwear. That is a tip for women. I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna write that down. Tips for women video, and I'm gonna mention that there is no such thing as too many underwear, too many bras, and too many socks. There is no such thing. Now a lot of people gonna say, "Oh, there's no such thing as a lot of lotions. There's too many lotions. There's no such thing as too many wigs. There's no such thing as too many shoes." Y'all are using that totally wrong, baby. You're supposed to be using that for your personal hygiene, not smelling good for a YN or ON. Anyway, I cracked myself up. I'm so sorry. But no, people use that phrase totally wrong so they can excuse their behavior. You don't have to buy 50 million perfumes. Now I understand that. I got the idea, of wanting to smell different every day. Don't want to smell the same. Don't want to look the same. Don't want their hair the same. Don't want the same glasses. I'm the same way. I've been wearing the same glasses for almost 2 years now. And I actually supposed to be getting a new prescription, but sometimes you don't have to. Anyway, let's get back to the women. Now, women, please do not use that as an excuse to be like, oh, well, there's no such thing as too many shoes. Yes, there is. My max would be 365. If you want to wear one different pair of shoes every single day of the year, 365 pair of shoes. Anything over that is just absurd. I don't have 365 pair of shoes, by the way, because I'm a little broke right now. That's why I'm talking to you, because I didn't used to be broke. I wasn't rich. I wasn't, full on, rich. I was like semi middle class, but you know, some people got to start over from scratch. Some people got to, you know, that don't mean you drop your standards either. Your standards stay high when you get low. Because as long as your standards are high, you will always figure out how to get back on top. If you lower your standards, you're going to get stuck where you at. So like people be like, "Oh, my hair got to be done. My nails got to be done." You know what somebody told me? Actually, I just heard it again on my TV show, but somebody told me this before. I think it was my granny or my auntie. Do not dress for the job you have. Dress for the job you want. Now, you can't go in there with some high heels and a crop top and some ripped up jeans and be like, I want to be a fashion designer if you're working at McDonald's. That's not how it works. But I'm saying, like, when you're going on an interview, dress for the job you want. If you want to be that fashion designer, show them you with the shit. And I started realizing like I gotta get out of the stage of always having a ponytail. I mean, some ponytails are cute. Like I think this is really cute if these two little big lumps wasn't right there. Um, I forgot to do my little thingies on the side today. I ain't have time. I usually pick the edge out and then just twirl it with some gel and then let it go. And I usually use a dryer, but I don't have a blow dryer and I don't want to go through my mom's stuff because I don't want to hear her mouth be like, "Really, with my stuff. You ask." Even if I ask, I still don't like going through her stuff. But um, back to what I was saying. I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, I gotta have my hair done, gotta have my nails done." I understand that. Me, for my nail, ooh, they dirty right now. Mm-mm. I do not like dirt under my nails. Sometimes, like, I be, doing so much throughout the day, and then look at my nails, I'm like, mm-mm. I stop middle of what I'm doing just to clean them. And I used to have a little kit. My dad always kept me with a little kit because he hated his nails being dirty too. Um, one day I'm gonna do like a memory lane uh vlog about my dad. I know I used to post about my dad a lot, and it gets depressing every year because you know September is a really hard month for me because I've had four people die. I got birthdays of people that died 1 or 2 months before, 1 or 2 months after. I literally just had an uncle die on New Year's, so not this year, last year. uh, and now New Year's is depressing. July 4th is depressing. That's the last holiday I got to spend with my dad. Even though he died in September, I went to Vegas in July. Right after, a couple days later, I went to Vegas. Came back in August, and I talk to my dad every day. But came back in August. Had to go to school late August, early September, because we had open house at the end of August, and then school started early September, like first or second week of September. So I got to do like that, and I got to spend my birthday with my dad. But July 4th was the last holiday, and my dad has taught me a lot. You'll hear me talk a lot about my dad in my videos, you know. But we'll get to that another time because it's kind of making me sad, making me want to cry. But back to the hair, I get distracted a lot, so I'm pretty sure you noticed that already. But this video is going to be posted tomorrow only because I want my algorithm to keep going, even though I got, today is the 29th, but it's going to be posted on 30th. I want one video posted every day so I can, I want to get in the habit of posting every day. But I know Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, it's a lot for me. And then trying to build my website and then actually physically do all of the work on my custom clothing myself is a lot. Now I know you've seen old videos where I was working on my business with my auntie. Yeah, that's dead. She's cut. You got videos of me, talking with my cousin when we were both homeless. That's dead. She's cut. I am one of those people that I'm not mean, but I don't take no bullshit. And when I smell bullshit, I'm gonna let you know that I smell bullshit. But anyways, um, it's good to make sure your nails are clean and trimmed. It's good to make sure your hair is done. It don't have to be done to nobody else standards but yours. So a lot of people like, oh, that's not professional. That's a kitty look. You know how many girls I didn't see that says that, oh, that looks so childish. And they'll wear the same thing and they'll wear it in a wig and then be like, "Oh, it's not the same." Baby, it's the same. It's a slick back ponytail. All you did was put a motherfucking bigger poof on it. And how does it look any more grown up than mine? Like people try to make you feel bad for how you look, how you act, how you talk, how you walk, how you dress, how you present yourself. You present yourself with respect. You dress to impress not just other people but yourself as well. If you don't feel good in what you wearing, don't wear it. Don't sit there and ask nobody like, oh, do this make me look fat? No, because automatically you're just gonna assume that they're lying anyway, whether they telling the truth or not. They can tell you, oh no, girl, you don't look fat, and the whole time you look fat. Or, oh girl, yeah, you look a little fat, and the whole time you don't look fat. Either way, you're gonna assume that they're lying. Don't ask. Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. That's why I tell everybody. Anyways, let's speed ahead because I'm already damn near 20 minutes into the video and all I've talked about is credit and my issues. Anyway, now, oh, that's what I was talking about, the responsibility of having credit. Now, when I first got my credit, I had a 701 credit score. When I first started, I had a 540 something. I got a screenshot somewhere. If I find a screenshot, I will put it in here. If not, I had a 540 something credit score. I sat there and built my credit. I had a Victoria's Secret credit card. So what I would do is every other weekend I would go buy me either if it was a sale, say like two for $7 or five for $10, I would go buy some. And it don't have to be overly fancy. But girls get their periods, girls have discharge, your panties get old. I mean they get dingy, they get lost in the washer, they get, just everything happened to him. So there's no such thing as having too much underwear. So I would go and I would buy me a pair of underwear, a bra, because you can't have too many bras either, and a pair of socks. That's it. Every other weekend. Now, every other weekend, opposite to when I was going to buy, because I was working, I would fully pay it off. Now I realize that fully paying off your debt every 2 weeks does not build your credit score how you think. It shows that you got good payment history. Because let me tell you this, you can pay, say your minimum is $30 to pay. You spent $50, right? Say your minimum to pay is $30, right? We got $30. Say you want to pay $6. What's half of 12? $6.50. $6.50 every week. So 650, 12, 1850, 670, yeah, 1850 and 25, right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, yeah, 25. Now, 650, say you paying $6.50 every week, right? As long as you make that first payment, it's gonna mark that you got good credit history of like payments because you made a payment that month. If you don't make no payment, it don't matter if you 3 months behind on payments, as long as you make some type of payment over $10, it's gonna mark on your credit history. And I know because I've done it. It took me about like a whole month to 2 months to pay off $120 because I wasn't making that much in my little job. I think I was working at Jewel Osco at the time. I think I was working at Jewel Osco. That was my first job because what's funny is that was my brother's last job, so that was my first job. Because he said it was a good job. But the only thing is, I ain't like pushing carts because one, I'm anemic. The littlest breed, cold. Then they talking about you can't wear this big overly chunky coat. You gotta wear their coat and put their vest on. I said, I'm not putting my arms in no musty, dusty, rusty, dirty coat. And they was like, well, you can wear a tiny sweater and then put the coat on, but you have to put the coat on with the vest. I'm like, why when I could just wear my own coat with the vest? They wasn't having it. Um, but I ain't like pushing carts. That's why I left that job. But I gave my 2 weeks for that job. And I had me another job lined up. If I didn't have another job lined up before I quit a job, I at least had two, three interviews. Don't ever, and I'm gonna write that on there too. Don't ever quit a job. I'm gonna do job tips. Job tips. Don't ever quit a job without having another one lined up. If you don't have a job, like actually have a job, like, hey, boom, you hired. That's what I mean by have the job. Not you done did an interview and they calling you back for a second interview. That's not having a job. Because I've had that experience too. They called me back for a second interview, and after my second interview, they didn't hire me. So I've had that too. If they don't say, boom, you're hired, let's start the paperwork, that's not having the job. And if you don't have the job, have at least 3 interviews lined up. So that way, as your 2 weeks is going, as soon as you put your 2 weeks in, you already got interviews lined up for other jobs. And I would tell them, hey, you can't schedule me on this time. Or if your schedule already, then came out, schedule your interviews around your job time. That's how I've always stuck with a job. Now, sometimes I didn't have that choice. I said choice because of being fired. Now I'll go through a list of jobs that I've been fired from and why a little later. I'm glad I caught that on camera because I can't even understand what happened. I can't understand what happened. Hang on one second, I'm wild write that down. Okay, I'm back. Now, like I said, as long as you make that one payment, baby, you good for credit history. Now it'll say that you are behind, and if you get too behind, they will put it in derogatory, which means like they in the process of closing. That's how it was explained to me. I know some people be like, "Oh yeah, you're right," and some people like, "Oh yeah, you're wrong." I've had people argue me back and forth about credit. It'd be two people sitting right here, and they'll go, "No, that's not how credit work. No, that's not how credit work." And I'd be sitting there like, "Neither one of y'all right, because this how my credit been working." But everybody got their own opinions on credit. I'm just telling you from my experience. These are not facts by actual people who help with credit or, can explain credit or went to school for financing. These are all my opinions and what I've been through and what other YouTubers have said. Now, since we already 20 minutes in and I don't want this to go over 25 minutes, I want to finish up with retirement. People say you want to start your retirement plan early. The earliest you can actually start your retirement plan is the earliest you can work. Some states they let you work at 13, 14 with a permit. I had a permit at 15, but by the time I actually got everything processed and everything, I mean, I still got to work at 15, but they were like, you can only work a certain amount of hours until we actually get your permit on file and see what you approved for. I didn't know that you had to be approved for a certain amount of time on your permit. Permit tell you like, hey, this person is this age, they can only work this amount of time and agree to work after. I didn't know all that shit was on a permit. I did not. I thought a permit was just a certificate saying, hey, this is Brandy Boyd, this is what she looked like. Or if it didn't have a picture, because some people permits don't have a picture. They'll be like, hey, she can work, and they take a copy and then boom, you start a job. No, that's not how every permit is. That's not how every state is either. Because I got family in Indiana, I got family in Nevada, and then I got family out here in Illinois. I got family in Mississippi. I got family everywhere, damn near. I even got family in Michigan and Minnesota, but we don't really talk to them like that. Well, my uncle in Minnesota, we do talk to, but we'll go over that a different day too, because I got tea to spill for my YouTube channel. Since people want to spill tea on their TikTok and then throw in lies, I already know she watching my YouTube channel. She always watches my YouTube channel. You know who I'm talking about, boo. But we'll discuss that another day too, cause she's cut. Anyway, um, about retirement. They say start your retirement early. Now, I thought that retirement was already automatically started and invested into with every job you had. Wrong. Like a 401k, they tell you 401k is your retirement plan through your job. Wrong. It's not through your job. The company partners with your job. If you want to invest money, your job take it out because they're the ones that pay you. And they basically you setting up direct deposit for it to go into this account. That's how I was taught. I could be wrong, but that's how I was taught in school, and I was taught it from my job when I asked questions because I asked a lot of questions. As you can see, I talk a lot. That's why I'm gonna have a lot of videos in this shirt because I got so much more to say. But I don't want my videos too long because I feel like people are gonna get bored with what I have to say. So I try to keep them, quick and easy to understand. But sometimes it don't always go that way because me, yep, 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 yep. Yes. You see that already. Anyway, I never set up a retirement plan, but on my own. I found out you can go and set up one on your own without your job, and I didn't know that. Like if your job pay you in cash, I always wonder how do you set up a 401k or a retirement plan if you can only do it through your job, and if your job paying you cash, how can you invest into it through your job? They paying you in cash. Um, but I want to talk more about the retirement plan in the next video. But that is a good idea, and that's something that I should have started and didn't. But that's gonna be something I start soon. I'm gonna do my research on different companies to do your retirement plan with. I'm not gonna say which one I chose just in case anybody ever, find my. And it's easy to find people on the internet, and I'm like, no. But I mean, I don't think they can pull from my retirement plan anyway, so I might end up telling you who I go with anyway. But yeah, we're gonna talk about retirement plans, and then we're gonna talk about income in the next video. I'll see you soon. I hate when I click the button and never mind.